Taking photos is a beautiful way to document our lives, tell a story, or create a work of art. If you followed my journey as an author and blogger, you've probably seen my photos in my book, Sustainable Home, as well as on my Instagram page and blog. I have a very distinct look and feel of all my pictures that many would call natural and minimal. And as requested by many, I'm here to share a bit more about how I take and edit my photos. To start, let's talk about the equipment I use. Technology has progressed so much that you can easily use your cell phone to take great photos. I've always learned it's not the tool, but the user that makes the magic happen. But if you're looking to take it a step further, any DSLR or mirrorless camera works great. I currently use an older model camera that I bought used, the Canon 5D Mark II. It has brought me through years of videos and photos, and though there are so many new cameras on the market with much better features and filming capabilities, I've loved using my camera and plan to use it for as long as I can. I also use a tripod for all of my videos to keep things stable, which I'll link below if you're interested. Every camera brand will achieve different results, so consider renting or borrowing some cameras to see what you like. I've personally used Nikon, Canon, and Fujifilm. They all work great and have their own strengths. Next, how I take my photos. To achieve minimalist, natural photos, I look for a few things. First, it's all about the lighting. Cameras capture light, so it's essential to have good light to capture your subject. I prefer shooting indoors when I have the most amount of natural light in my home, which is around morning till early afternoon. But when I'm outside, early mornings and late afternoons are best, so the light isn't too harsh. When shooting indoors, I also prefer when the light source is coming from the side instead of directly in the front. Backlit photos are also an option that will cast a nice shadow in the background. But if you're looking for that nice, crisp white background, have your light source come diffused from the side. Stylistically, I also tend to gravitate towards objects and settings with more negative space and neutral colors. I love shooting nature when it's a foggy morning, as everything looks calmer with the diffused sunlight. There's no need to gravitate towards these things though, it's just what I prefer to shoot to create a serene aesthetic. I encourage you to test things out and find inspiration. It will take time and a lot of practice to find out what you like, but the more you shoot, the better you'll get at achieving the photo you desire. Once I've taken my photos, it's time to edit. Before I dive in, I want to mention Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video. Whether you're a photographer or want to learn skills and productivity, Skillshare has an assortment of classes to explore. There's a specific photo editing course called Cinematic Styles in Adobe RAW that's a perfect fit for getting better at photo editing, as becoming a decent photographer and editor doesn't happen overnight. I'd highly encourage you to learn from the experts with Skillshare's variety of classes. And the first 1,000 people who click on the link below will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. And after, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. When I first started my blog, I didn't invest in any program and used whatever I could find for free online. But I ended up getting Photoshop and using VSCO filters after I got more into photography. But After a few years of using them, I was ready to take the leap and really start editing from scratch. So currently, I use Lightroom to edit all my photos. I don't use filters, but I've tried to teach myself how to achieve the look I desire. I shoot my images in RAW, which is a camera file format that allows you to edit the photo a bit more as there's more data in each file. So if you're shooting in a low light situation, you'll have a better ability to adjust the photo's brightness. So let's go ahead and walk through one photo together. First is exposure. I usually bring this up a bit to make the photo brighter overall, as it's a little bit better to have a underexposed photo and boost up the brightness, and going backwards is a bit more difficult. Second is contrast. I think most cameras have a very contrasty look when you just take it straight off the camera, which I personally don't like because I think it comes off as a bit unnatural. So I usually tune this down just a tad to give it a more flat and natural look. Next, highlights are the brightest spots of your image. I also tune these down quite a bit so the image is not overly bright or contrasty, so it again will appear more natural. Shadows are the darkest parts of your image. You'll usually need a bit, even in a minimalistic photo, to just bring enough contrast to make it look natural. So I'll bring it up just a tad in this photo. Whites and blacks make the whites and blacks of your photos just pop out more in your photo or also decrease. I usually keep these fairly untouched for the most part, but will alter it if I think it needs a bit of a boost. For example, if there's a white background that I want to look a bit brighter, I'll boost up the whites just a bit. Curves are another way to alter all the previous elements in one go, and this is something I'm still learning, but I'll usually dial down the highlights just a tad, which is the top part of the curve. I'm not an expert at this though, and would recommend watching more tutorials if you're interested on how to use curves. Last is color. For the most part, I set this as auto because Lightroom does a fairly good job of getting the photo's temperature right. Generally, a picture will look very blue if you make it on the cooler side versus very orange if it's on the warmer side. So you can set it on auto and adjust as needed based on what you think looks the most natural. And if you don't know, get another photo that is shot in the same setting as yours that looks about right and put it next to yours to compare and contrast. So that's it. If you want to get more detailed examples of my post-processing flow, I have an extended cut of this video for my Patreon community, which you can find linked below. I go through how I would post-process a picture from a cell phone, which has a very different output and feel than my Canon DSLR, and just a few more examples to really get the hang of it. I hope you found this video helpful, and I plan on sharing a bit more on how I also post-process my videos as well. If you have any specifics that you would like to see in that upcoming video, do let me know in the comments below. With that, have a wonderful day. Hope to see you guys start shooting some great photos, and I'll see you all in the next video.